about that. Throwing instead left hooks like that to the head, which are missing.
Well, the other thing, too, of course, which makes the left hook even less of a weapon, is the fact that for the most part, Beasley is moving away from it.
Which should put him in the range for the right hand. Also, of course, Marshall could cut the ring off and make him go back to the left. There's a thought, you know?
It's a concept. Low blow there.
Well, one prediction looks like it could well hold true, and that was yours. Not the one about Prince Charles Williams and James Tony, or mine about Paez and De La Hoya, but the one in which you said this might go the distance.
I even had the Indians against Custer.
Yeah. Did they win?
They won that one. Shutout, as a matter of fact. I think.
There's the body work again. Look how it sets things up. But Beasley, a very nice job of getting out of there. He's boxing quite well.
Of round number 6, and again a fight that started to follow a pattern.
What would you say to a free vacation in New York?
Probably you've had good luck your entire life, which is the opposite of me.
It's the It Could Happen to You movie sweepstakes at IHOP.
What?
Hey, get lucky you love IHOP's food like T-bone steaks or omelets or breakfast combos. Now take a shot at a free vacation. The IHOP It Could Happen to You sweepstakes.
Now a 12-ounce T-bone steak meal for just $6.99. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It begins at 9 a.m. Thursday and ends 6 p.m. Saturday night. Neil Pope's Used Car Supercenter 72-hour used car disposal. Everything just $29 down. Like a special group, $29 down. $99 a month. Or a second group, just $29 down. $169 a month. Honda, Toyota, Explorer, Mustang, convertible, even Jeep. Prices from $99. Plus all credit applications accepted. Get to Neil Pope's Used Car Supercenter on Buford Highway before 6 p.m. Saturday night.
Tony Marshall in the last round started to do some of that body work that paid off so handsomely for him earlier. But then he lets Beasley escape, and Lonnie Beasley gets on the bicycle, and he is gone.
Beasley got stepped on and steps out of there.
I think they reminded Marshall to go to the body again. But he may be running out of rounds here. He's going to really have to step on the gas.
Look at the numbers in the 6th round, and Beasley just continues to be a little bit busier than Marshall. And remember, these were the rounds that Marshall won the last time these two faced up. And on your card, 59-55, which ironically is the way I have it.
How about that? I think it's only fitting that your last fight here on Top Rank Boxing, we should score it identically.
You almost always do. You ever notice that?
Pretty darn close, yeah. Oh, we have ESPN.
Yes.
Marshall is using the jab to set these up, and it's more helping him a little bit. But Beasley's still doing a pretty good defensive job. However, Beasley is not punching back as much in this round. Now, there's where Marshall has to work on the inside of the body.
And the only time he was there was in the 4th round and right now. But Beasley got him out of there, and he punched his way out of this.
There's no question Beasley is showing less movement. But if Beasley counters like that on the inside, it doesn't matter, does it? Because he's still getting the job done.
He's showing less movement, but he's showing more stamina.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not confuse the movement with stamina, because if you would stand in there and you blast with the guy for a little while, then move, that's just as good, isn't it? That's just what Lonnie Beasley is doing.
I think, too, people would accuse Lonnie Beasley of being a runner. But I think there's running, and I think there's running effectively. And what Lonnie Beasley is doing, in fact, not even running effectively, I just call it moving effectively.
He's boxing. He is doing effective movement, and he's throwing lots of punches. He can throw that many punches. to get in the corner. He's not doing it. Tony Marshall has slipped back from where we saw him against Aaron Davis. This is a fairly close round, even though Beasley has boxed well. Marshall has landed a lot of punches. We'll see how the judges see this one.
Whenever he goes to the body, he does a much better job.
That's all the time.
And when you let your man do it, don't give him that time.
You wait a little too long to come back to your jab. When you run your combinations off, come right back to the jab. You wait too long. Look, you step back and step right back in. You got it? To the head.
Touch him with that jab. All right?
Give me the other one.
Keep your hands up to kill those shots with your right hand. You understand?
I got you.
Doing good, baby. And counter the man. Roll with the punch.
Here is the point where Marshall saw Beasley go to the body, do some of his own body work, and Marshall was not able to land there.
Coming to the 8th round now. And Marshall really is in a situation now where, at least in my opinion, I want to quote you, is running out of rounds.
He's got to make something happen here, I think. At the very least, you think he'd have to win all the rest of the rounds to get this fight, or at the most, maybe he might even need a knockout, or at least a knockdown.
Numbers through 7 rounds, and Beasley, although it is getting close in punches landed.
Not a huge difference, but I think it's how those punches are spaced. And this is one of those fights where we could very well see some divergent scoring.
Yeah, and this time it will be justified, I think. There are many rounds you can make a case for either man.
This is not the Ray Mercer and Marion Wilson fight.
No. There were only, I'd say, 3 people in a room who saw that any differently than you and I.
Yeah. 2 of them were judges.
Yeah.
Beasley has turned to southpaw again. Now, when he turns to southpaw, it's easier for Marshall to land the body shots. He goes to the body better when Beasley is a southpaw, because Beasley gives him less movement. Good work. Marshall may have lost this fight tactically because of his failure to stay with the body attack.
4th round, he did it very effectively. Beasley wants Marshall to come in.
Marshall right hand has been very lethargic tonight. There's an example. I said in the keys, one of the keys to Beasley was to avoid that punch. He has done it well, and Marshall has helped him by pawing with and lunging with that punch. This is a round, though, in which Marshall might be taking it.
Beasley confident of getting into the rankings should he win this fight.
He was bitterly disappointed to lose that NABF shot against Julio Cesar Green. It's kind of a weird finish. He was pushed back by the referee, went down, and they felt it was inappropriate.
The referee stopped the fight after he pushed him down.
That's true, yes.
You know, it's interesting talking fighters. Good right hand there from Marshall. Hardly any fighter will make an excuse about a situation like that. Fighters are not whiners. We'll be back.
On a taste you can't turn back. Trying to Pringles double stack. Double stack, vacuum pack. You got to like that. Take the space out of Big Bangs. Don't look so big. That's the drag. And they got pieces of those greases. Pringles got the whole chips, you bet. Triple stacks is what you get. Get the Pringles double stack of chips. Doubly, hard to resist. Yeah. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Plaza, but a reminder that ESPN on Sunday is going to be at the Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan for the Goodwrench 400. That's Mark Martin, I think, isn't it?
I believe so.
He won here last year, as I recall. He was a winner last week as well. Dale Earnhardt will be there, Ernie Irvin, all the very best in NASCAR racing. Speed World live, 12:30 Sunday in Brooklyn, Michigan.
I love the Winston Cup.
It's your constituency, right?
Yeah, I love those guys. Talk to them all the time on my radio show. They call in. We chat about Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, all those guys.
I was just going to say, speaking of, we were talking about what good guys fighters are. I've always said, and I maintain this, that fighters are my favorite athletes. But if it weren't fighters, it might be NASCAR drivers.
Undoubtedly the most cooperative athletes there are. Delightful fellows.